In the heart of the galaxy's deadliest gathering, where empires rise and fall on the edge of a blade, one warlord dared to claim invincibility. The Interstellar Arms Convention pulsed with the hum of forbidden tech, a colossal arena orbiting the shattered remnants of a long-conquered star system. Neon holograms flickered like dying stars, projecting tales of conquest across the void. Here, in this den of cosmic predators, the air reeked of plasma residue and unbridled ambition. Aliens from 1,000 worlds, scaled mercenaries with cybernetic claws, ethereal generals cloaked in energy fields, and shadowy arms dealers peddling doomsday devices, converged to worship the gods of war. But tonight, all eyes locked on the stage, where the Draxian warlord Korthval loomed like a storm cloud ready to unleash lightning. Towering at 12 feet, his obsidian-scaled armor gleamed under the spotlights, etched with the scars of 100 battles. Commander of the Obsidian Armada, Korthval had raised planets and shattered fleets, his name whispered in fear from the core worlds to the outer rims. With a thunderous roar that silenced the crowd, he raised his masterpiece, the monomolecular graviton blade. Its edge shimmered with gravitational distortions, warping the air around it like a black hole's whisper. "Behold," he bellowed, his voice echoing through translators in a dozen languages. "This weapon slices through starship hulls as if they were vapor, rends planetary shields like fragile silk. No material forged by mortal hands can withstand its bite." The assembly erupted in reverent awe, gasps rippling like shockwaves, tentacles twitching in envy, mechanical eyes whirring in analysis. Korthval activated the blade with a flick, its hum building to a predatory growl. A reinforced war drone, armored in the galaxy's toughest alloy, hovered defiantly before him. In one fluid arc, he swung, and the drone bisected cleanly, sparks exploding as its hubs crashed to the stage. Cheers thundered, deals were whispered in the shadows. This was power incarnate, the pinnacle of destruction. Or so they believed. But in the back rows, amid the sea of alien elites, two figures stood out like anomalies in a perfect equation. Captain Rachel Vaughn, a lean Terran weapons analyst with eyes sharp as laser sights, crossed her arms, her uniform bearing the subtle insignia of the Terran Defense Coalition. Beside her, Lieutenant Marcus Hale, a rugged field specialist with a scar tracing his jaw, leaned in with a smirk. Humans, those upstart primates from a backwater planet called Earth, had only recently joined the galactic fold. Dismissed as fragile curiosities, they were here to observe, or so the invitation claimed. As Korthval's blade retracted, Marcus couldn't hold it back. A quiet, genuine chuckle escaped his lips. The sound cut through the din like a glitch in the Matrix. Heads turned, first a few, then a wave. Korthval's glowing eyes narrowed, his crest flaring in rage. "Who dares mock the might of the Obsidian Armada?" he snarled, leaping from the stage with predatory grace, his blade humming back to life. The crowd parted as he stormed toward the humans, tension coiling like a spring about to snap. Rachel placed a hand on Marcus's arm, her voice steady but laced with amusement. "Easy, Lieutenant. We're just impressed." Korthval towered over them, his shadow engulfing the pair. "Explain your insolence, soft skins, or taste the blade that humbles gods." The humans exchanged a glance, a spark of something unspoken. Defiance? Pity? The galaxy held its breath, alliances teetering on the edge of this unforeseen clash. What could these unassuming Terrans possibly know that could shatter a warlord's unbreakable pride? But tell me, viewers, what if the galaxy's ultimate weapon was nothing more than a toy to the species that tamed fire with bare hands? The silence shattered like fragile armor. Could these puny humans truly defy the galaxy's mightiest blade, or were they bluffing their way to oblivion? Korthval's eyes blazed with fury, his graviton blade pulsing in his grip like a caged supernova. The Interstellar Arms Convention hung on a knife's edge, literally, as the Draxian warlord loomed over Rachel and Marcus, his voice a guttural storm. "Prove your mockery, Terrans, or I'll carve your insolence into the stars." The crowd leaned in, a mosaic of alien faces twisted in anticipation, scaled jaws clenched, tentacles quivering, cybernetic implants whirring. Whispers slithered through the hall. What madness possessed these soft skins to challenge a conqueror of worlds? Rachel stepped forward, her calm demeanor a stark contrast to the brewing chaos, like a gentle breeze before a hurricane. "With all due respect, Warlord," she said, her voice steady as she reached into her utility pack, "we're not mocking you. We're contextualizing." From the depths emerged a small, gleaming metal utensil, unassuming, polished, with a serrated edge that caught the light like a forgotten relic. She placed it beside Korthval's humming masterpiece, the butter knife dwarfed yet defiant. Gasps rippled outward. A mercenary choked on his synthale. "This," Rachel explained, "is what we call a butter knife. Back on Earth, it's for spreading breakfast spreads. But it's molecular honing? Sharper than you'd think. Our ancestors forged edges like this to survive ice ages and wars." The assembly froze, confusion morphing into outrage. Korthval's crest flared wider, his mind reeling. How could a kitchen tool rival his empire's pinnacle? But Marcus wasn't done. With a flick of his wrist, he summoned a holographic cascade from his wrist device. Ancient Earth archives bloomed in the air, katanas slicing through bamboo armies, Viking axes cleaving shields, then leaping to the future, plasma torches welding starports, railgun blades dissecting asteroids. "See," Marcus grinned, his tone laced with that infuriating human cheek. "We've been playing with fire since we crawled out of caves. Your blade? Impressive. But to us, it's entry-level." Tension coiled tighter, the air thick with unspoken threats. Korthval snarled, refusing to bend. "Lies. Demonstrate, or perish." The crowd surged closer, alliances fracturing in the shadows. Whispers of betrayal echoed as opportunistic dealers eyed the humans' tech, plotting heists amid the uproar. What if these Terrans held secrets that could topple empires? Rachel nodded, pulling out a compact device from her belt, a Terran plasma cutter, humming faintly like a predator's purr. "Lowest setting," she warned, activating it with a soft click. In a blinding flash, the cutter met Korthval's indestructible blade, vaporizing half in a shower of molten sparks. Pandemonium erupted. Delegates scrambled over seats, alarms blared, and holographic feeds glitched in overload. Korthval staggered back, his weapon a smoking ruin, rage twisting into raw fear. His worldview cracked like the drone he'd bisected. Humans didn't fear destruction, they domesticated it, turning apocalypse into appliances. Betrayals ignited. A shadowy arms dealer slinked toward the exits, scheming to steal the plasma tech, while others fled, dreading the diplomatic fallout. The galaxy's power balance teetered. What horrors had they unleashed by inviting these mad inventors? But pause, viewers. If humans turn god-killers into gadgets, what does that make their real weapons? And could Korthval's shattered pride spark a war? Or an alliance forged in fire? What happens when the galaxy's deadliest warlord is left holding a melted stub and a breakfast utensil? Let the chaos cool, and watch the new order rise from the ashes. The convention hall bled noise, alarms fading, delegates stampeding toward exits that jammed like clogged arteries. Sparks from Korthval's ruined blade hissed on the polished floor, each pop a tiny obituary for Draxian supremacy. The warlord stood frozen, 12 feet of obsidian armor suddenly small, staring at the glowing stump in his gauntlet. His crest drooped like a wilted battle standard. Rachel killed the plasma cutter with a soft click. The hum died. Silence rushed in to fill the vacuum. She holstered the tool the way a chef pockets a favorite paring knife. Casual, practiced, terrifying. Marcus leaned against a toppled display pillar, arms folded, the grin of a man who'd just won a bet with the universe. Korthval's translator crackled, voice reduced to a gravelly whisper. "You vaporized the graviton lattice. On the lowest setting." Rachel shrugged. "We reserve higher settings for Sunday roasts." A ripple of nervous laughter skittered through the remaining onlookers, half hysteria, half surrender. The mercenary who'd choked on synthale earlier now clutched his table for support, eyes wide as moons. Across the hall, holographic feeds rebooted, looping the impossible moment. The warlord's masterpiece bisected by a breakfast appliance. Galactic networks lit up. #ButterKnifeApocalypse trended before the smoke cleared. Transitioning from panic to something stranger, Korthval sank onto the edge of the stage. The mighty Obsidian Armada commander looked lost. Rachel approached, boots crunching on shattered alloy. She produced a polished stainless steel butter knife, serrated, engraved with the Terran Coalition emblem, and laid it across his massive palm like a treaty. For practice, she said gently. Start small. Work your way up to starships. Marcus pushed off the pillar, joining her. Word of advice. Never bring a godkiller to a picnic. The warlord's fingers closed around the gift. The translator emitted a low, despairing hum that might have been laughter. Seen sliding into aftermath. Outside the arena, emergency lights painted the orbital rings in crimson and gold. Delegates who'd fled now hovered at safe distance, recording every frame. Analysts predicted market crashes, arms races, diplomatic meltdowns. Yet something else flickered in the data streams: curiosity. Requests for Terran kitchen tech spiked 3,000%. Someone live-streamed a human chef julienning a neutronium ingot with a steak knife. The galaxy wasn't just afraid, it was hungry to learn. Final weave. Korthval rose, tucking the butter knife into a sheath meant for planet-cracking swords. His crest lifted, not in rage, but resolve. Captain Vaughn, he rumbled. The Armada will require tutorials. Rachel's smile carried the warmth of a supernova. We'll send a starter kit. Butter included. The hall emptied to echoes and starlight. One question lingered in every mind, from warlord to viewer. If this is what humans do with tableware, what miracles or horrors do they keep in the pantry? So tell me in the comments, spacefarers, what everyday Earth tool would you weaponize to humble an alien empire? Drop your wildest idea below, smash that like button if humanity's casual chaos cracked you up, and subscribe, because next week we reveal the steak knife incident that toppled a dynasty. Stay lethal, stay buttery, and I'll see you in the stars.